Let's start with the video games, Mark.
Sure.
Um, Astrobot. I'm sure all y'all probably know by now. It's been getting ridiculous praise, getting genre-defining praise, all-time video game type praise. So y'all should,
After the hit of Concord,
yeah. I mean, it. Sony knew what they had because they planned this wonderfully well. I mean, they good on them for like having no being really cutthroat about this. We're going to end the game that's been causing us all this grief the same day that we have our tremendous platformer coming out, and everybody's going to forget about Concord for a while because you're going to be talking about Astrobot, and that's exactly what happened. The reviews came out the day before. Like I said, all this kind of glowing praise, and then on Friday it released. I had a pre-order ready to go, and it is it lives up to all that hype for me. Um, Look, you can. I know some people are calling it, oh, they just copied a bunch of 3D Mario stuff and then stuck it into one game. I don't think that's really unfair, and that's absolutely ridiculous to say. I think you're a Nintendo bot if that's your whole impression of the game without even probably haven't even played it. And second, that's all you can really think about. Just how games always take from each other. That's just how games have always worked. You take the best thing of something else, and the way you use it in the new game and the way you're able to blend that together is how that works.
I'm not saying
You know,
Astrobot took a lot from Mario 64. I'm saying it took a lot from Croc.
yeah, there you go from Croc. Um, yeah, we'll see. Maybe that'll be in the maybe they'll honor Croc in the DLC
Right.
with a bot. So essentially, it's very much feels like it's a longer version of what you get with Astro's Playroom, right? So if you played that Astro's Playroom, the free pack-in with the PS5, you're gonna be right at home here because you get a lot of that, right? It is essentially a showcase for the controller. Once again, nobody knows how to use this controller apparently better than Team Asobi, and people have been doing this for what 4 years now, and Team Asobi still kicks everybody's butt at how to use um,
Well,
this
it's not that
controller.
it's not
Yeah.
that people don't know. It's people don't care. There's a difference.
Well, there's that too, but I think it's like it's something about this the way they obviously they do R&D for Sony, so they got a lot of time to be with that controller, figure out the kinks, do all that stuff, and obviously they kind of designed it to be that the first time, but it's just it's cool. It's like you're riding around in your PlayStation 5, and then an alien comes and attacks our buddy Astro here, and then the whole adventure begins. And after that, you're using a DualSense controller as your, ship beyond that. So, and you can even customize the little ship and everything. But I mean, look, it's a platformer, 3D platformer. It does amazing things with all the little different suits that he gets, from like a dog that does like jetpacks to like boxing cactus gloves to an umbrella that he can wear that you can hear the rain with the DualSense, which is really cool. Um, yeah, I'm loving the game. I think it's if you love platformers, you definitely need to go buy this. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Go check it's actually $60. It's not 70. They could have charged 70 for this if they wanted to, but I think they kind of took into account that you could technically finish the game the first time without if you don't care about getting all of the little puzzle pieces or the bots, you could technically probably finish this game in about, I want to say 8 hours the first time. But the game wants you to explore it. It wants you to find the bots, the hidden bots, and the VIP bots, which are all based off of very much like Astro's Playroom, all based off of the
Like PlayStation characters.
and not even PlayStation, right? Just like kind of formative things of PlayStation, and even just third party players that are third party like studios that have important games that have been on PlayStation, all the way from the early days of PlayStation, like Parappa the Rapper, all that. Even earlier than that, probably to the latest stuff, the stuff that we know, God of War, Last of Us, even shout outs to Persona and that Very surprised there's no like Square Enix representation in here at all. You'd think that Final Fantasy would have got some
Well, they've always been
representation.
squirrely about having, being in third party or, games like that. Just look
Yeah,
at like how involved they were in getting like, Cloud and Sephiroth and like Smash Brothers.
yeah, but they had the Buster Sword in Playroom, right? But you're right. They are kind of like very protective of their IP, especially with Seven Rebirth and all that kind of being a game that came out this year. I mean, it doesn't. They could easily. They just released a bot in Playroom that you could take into this game, like last week or whatever. So they could put these in. If the game continues to sell well and they keep making content, they're going to make speed run levels and other challenge levels in the game, and they're going to put it in later. So there's going to be more content for this. There's also it's not just yes, Playroom was very accessible. Anybody could have played that kind of and gotten through it. And there are a lot of those levels that are like that where it's not that difficult, but there are others that okay, you might lose a bunch. And then there's some that are special that are like coated with the different logos of the the face buttons of the controller. So you have the triangle, the circle, the square, the well, they officially call it cross here, but the X levels.
Yeah.
And those are a lot harder. Those are like your, the Mario levels that you get at the end of Mario games. Usually they get really hard, or the extra ones.
Right.
Those are like very precise. Like I had to redo one like 30 times because you're on this like armadillo that you jump on, and it makes you go in like you're on a unicycle. And so he's going extra fast, and you can only jump one time because the game basically teaches you have a double jump, and the double jump allows you to do the thing where he shoots the lasers out of his feet, and you can kill enemies with it too. So it's like you have to untrain yourself to always double jump to then single jump, so you don't lose the little
Yeah, the platform
armadillo
you're on.
ball.
Right.
And then you also have things that are there trying to kill you. So yeah, it's really challenging. So I definitely think that like people that are going, oh man, I'm gonna play this with my kids, and definitely you can do that, but it's not a kid's game. I don't think either. It's definitely something that it wants you to have fun with it, and it makes a fun thing of collecting the bots too because it has a base world where you can then take those bots and then unlock other bots with it, and you make like different little things with them so you can go up higher in those little areas and get secret things. And they had the gotcha machines back too, so you get little different things with the bots too. It's like each one of them has their little representative thing that you can unlock with it so that they kind of move around and you see them do things. So it's neat. All that stuff is fun. If you love video games, it's also one of those things where it's like there's so many of these little bots in here that I go, what game is this from? I have no idea, and you go back and look at it, and I bet there are so many people that are buying games based off of seeing the bot and going, oh man, I remember I saw somebody bought Sly Cooper yesterday because
I saw someone bitching about Days Gone, so that was fun.
that the creator that John Gavin was complaining about Days Gone not being represented in this game. Dude, there's people that probably like, whoa, where's this guy from, and may have went and looked up Days Gone.
Where is this extremely bland biker from? Is it Sons of
It's
Anarchy?
like,
Wait, no.
it's like I'm just saying, like, there's so many games represented in here that I think you're gonna get a boost from sales from people seeing those characters in here. And it might help, So I just think that being negative towards it is not helpful, not helping you. They put your character in the game. I mean, that means something. There's a Twisted Metal show out there, and they don't even have a Twisted Metal character in here.
Don't worry, they'll patch that character out soon enough.
Yeah, when he keeps complaining, they'll keep
But maybe we'll just license the Sons of Anarchy guy. Be like, here's Jax Teller for some reason. All right.
Yeah, but I mean, listen, if you're not sold, go watch some gameplay, and it will probably sell you by the end. It's just Astrobot's just like, I don't know how you can hate him. He's just a lovable little It feels like a baby that can move, kind of somewhat, because he doesn't talk, but he kind of has some of those characters, like a little child playing, and it really does take you. It made me have this like feel of like, oh, I'm playing Super Mario World again on Super Nintendo. Like it gave me it pushed me back to that time, and maybe just have this like all those feels again. Yeah, Mario does that every time as well, but it's just like, I guess because it has all that PlayStation nostalgia in it too, it pushes you back to that time for sure.
Sure.
And I think even if you don't have the PlayStation nostalgia to like want to go look for all those bots, it's still a fantastic game in its own right, regardless of that. But obviously, it does help if you care about that, considering the average age of gamers is, our age or basically millennials at this point. So